Today's episode of The Bottom Line is brought to you by First Bank.
Dave, we airline passengers have known for a long time that we are basically cattle.
Yeah.
I mean, we are herded aboard the plane. We're pushed in next to the other cattle. And, maybe if we're lucky, we're watered once during the flight, given a little bag of something that's pretty much like cow food to eat. And, and now United Airlines has taught us how they treat cattle that perturb them. You can be banged, dragged out of the plane, and outrageous treatment. And of course, because we fly, we know that we must put up with it. We must put up with it.
It is, and this United incident has brought up the sort of the issue of overbooking. The airlines, they have to overbook their flights. They know. I mean, it actually doesn't happen very much. Only about less than 0.5% of passengers ever get bumped from a flight because of overbooking. It's because there's a certain number of times when the person doesn't show up, they miss a connection, so they don't want to fly with.
And we wouldn't want the cattle to have any room, like
right?
Seat next
well,
to them.
but that costs the airlines money.
That can cost you.
And the airlines are very good at maximizing revenue and controlling costs. They've never been more profitable.
And if you look at the PR method that was used during this incident, it's pretty clear that the CEO does think that we're cattle.
Oh, yeah.
His first remark was to sympathize with his employees who had to put up with this disreputable person and have him hauled out. Not the passenger. He didn't realize that every passenger would see himself in the position of that poor guy being yanked out and bloodied.
Oh, this is first, foremost, and totally a management problem, I think. I mean, the airline industry is by necessity a very rules-based industry. I mean, you've got a lot of rules for safety, a lot of rules for just the logistics of getting a bunch of people onto a plane and to their destination on time and safely. It's a very complex operation. You've got to have rules about who has priority for a seat, who has priority to get bumped, whatever. But their rules were entirely inadequate and counterproductive in this situation. They certainly didn't take into account the impact of social media.
Well, as guys who cover economics, there's a way to deal with this. You turn your gate agents and auction. That's it. $200 to get off this flight. Anybody? 200? No takers. 400. Eventually, you get
They've always done this, but United had a very low, maximum. I think it was $800 is the most they were willing to offer in this situation. Delta just revised their policies. They are going up as high as 10,000. This is just the gate agent has that authority to.
Yeah, for 10,000 would have solved this. I'm sure.
I'm sure they'd be glad to have paid that amount to have made this problem go away.
It's multi-million dollars of bad publicity. Their stock sunk by what percentage of it?
Well, only briefly it was down a couple of percent, but it came back. It's really the immediate economic impact is negligible, but certainly the bad PR is going to cost. If you had the choice of flying United or Delta or anyone else for an equivalent price right now, most people, you did a poll, most people would say, I choose the other guy, not United. I mean, in many cases we don't have a choice because there are only 4 major airlines in the U.S. And you don't have a choice, or you go where you get the best fare.
But as a cow aboard an airliner, I now know what will happen to me if I dare not obey the stewardess.
Yeah. Oh, and United, to its credit, has changed its rules belatedly, but they are now going to make the airline employees get to the airport an hour before takeoff if they want to claim a free seat on the flight. And that was the problem. The employees showed up. They said, we've got to get them to Louisville, so we're going to drag this
out. You go, paying passenger. There you go.
But very, very bad way to run any business, to treat your customers like that.
I agree.
First Bank Wisdom. You don't have to be around for a century to know what counts, but it helps. Let's look ahead.